Hi Pisces, this is your general tarot reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of October. Pisces, let's do as we always do. We'll shuffle the cards and wait on all the right ones to come out for you, my love. And in the meantime, let's talk about the energies that you might feel throughout the month. So, we'll talk about the effect of the big full moon that happened at the end of September, which you'll still be feeling a little bit into October. It was an Aries full moon and it happened for you in your second house. Second house is a lot to do with money. It's a lot to do with self-worth. It's a lot to do with where you put your energy also in what you want to focus on to build. So what you may have found is that you were putting a lot of energy and time into trying to solve some money problems, some money issues. Maybe there was an attitude also surrounding money and how you approached it that you finally felt now, as we enter October, that you're putting it to rest. Maybe you've come up with some good plans because you felt you had to come up with some good plans surrounding money. And also when it comes to your self-worth and self-esteem, I think that there may have been a moment where that got really challenged and you had to assert yourself. And you had to assert yourself in a way that you really had to do it, but you didn't want to do it, but you needed to do it. So you might have stood your ground and held your ground when it comes to you valuing yourself and letting other people know that you have a high value on yourself and that you shouldn't be treated a certain way. And there's an element of, from now on, I'm only demanding from people that I'm treated with the respect that I ought to be given, and with a sense that, you know, I'm not a pushover. I'm not somebody to be just shoved around or silenced, that I do have confidence and I do have self-esteem and I will bite back if needs be, if challenged. So you have held your ground and you have shown other people that you have a much stronger sense of self-worth than maybe they had seen before. Maybe they got a fright. I do suspect that there was an element of frightening somebody, Pisces, where they may have thought you were one thing and when you bit back, they saw, oh, okay, let's not mess with Pisces. They're not as much of a pushover as I thought they were. But certainly when it comes to your money too, there was that big need to focus on that. And I think you've come up with some answers, some solutions, or at least a new attitude in how you approach money in general. Because what we have here is the sun going into Libra in your 8th house. And this is a lot to do with a big, deep focus on trying to get your whole financial situation working for you in the long term. In the long term. So it seems there's a project or a plan put together for you, Pisces, where you want to put money aside, maybe invest money, maybe save money, save up for something special. And you're determined now to watch your money grow and also to watch your confidence grow and to keep more balance. Maybe there was that thing where there was an imbalance when it came to money, particularly for those in relationships. Maybe there was something off. One of you had more money than the other. One of you overly depended on another's resource of something or a supply of something. And now you're ready and willing to bring that back into balance. And maybe there's a thing with debts too. If you felt that you'd gone through a period, Pisces, where you maybe couldn't pay your way, and now there's an element of you saying, no, I have a plan now. I'm going to pay some money back or pay a loan back, pay somebody back for what they've given me, not just because it's the right thing to do, but because I don't want them to have a hold over me. Yeah, and for some of you, again, in a relationship, it could be the essence of you watching your partner go through some little crisis financially or some crisis one way or another, where it looks like they're sinking a little bit and you might be asked to come in and help them because they might feel like they're going under. Yeah, particularly financially. Maybe they've lost a lot of their confidence because they've been hit hard financially for those in a relationship, and you have to try to bring balance back to that for them because it's to your benefit that they do well. I mean, it's to your benefit because you'll want to see them in a better mood and in better humor. So even if it's just for that, it's to your benefit to help them. But there is also the element with the sun in the 8th house of, yes, being called upon to help somebody else, but not to be weighed down by their problem. Sure, you can help where you can help, but not to feel that it's all on your shoulders. You know, they have to meet you halfway too. Just because they're going through a bit of a crisis situation, it's not good enough for them to hand it over and say, I can't fix this. Here, Pisces, you fix that for me. You bring that into balance. You set that right for me. I've messed up big time. Now it's your job to fix it. It's not your job, my love. It's not your job to fix it. Certainly, it's your job to help. But that's all you're being asked to do, to support and help, not to fix. Remember that. And stand your ground if you're ever being asked to take somebody else's problem as your own, because it's not yours, it's theirs. Okay? It's theirs. Remember that. Because I don't want you getting all stressed out because you've got your own stuff to be dealing with, Pisces, your own things to be getting on with. And it's just not fair, or it's not even reasonable for somebody to expect you to fix their mess too. Unless, of course, being the wonderful Pisces, healing, loving person that you are, that you're involved in mediating, that you're involved in stepping in and helping people communicate, helping to bring balance back where there was some chaos, crisis or disorder. If that's your job, fine. But otherwise, if it's not your job, steer clear. Steer clear, because it's not your baby. It's not your thing to fix, okay? Mercury in there is also saying the same thing. I just get the feeling, Pisces, that it's about mediation. Somebody can't think straight. Somebody's going through a bit of a crisis. Maybe they've fallen out with their partner. Maybe it's you that's fallen out with your partner. And you can't think straight. And instead of saying, well, this is mine and that's yours. This is my version of events, that's yours. This is my problem, that's yours. Instead of seeing the separation, the first instinct is, oh, well, if it's your problem, then it's also my problem. So therefore, that means I have to fix 100% of it. No. There's a clear line here. Their problems are their problems. And what you are going through is only what you're going through. And I know that might seem harsh to you, Pisces. You're saying, oh, that's not very loving or kind. It is. It's one of the most loving things that you can do, to allow somebody go through some crisis, certainly to give them support, but not to go in and try to rescue everything. It's not your job. It's not what you've been asked to do. And you're stopping them from learning. So the most loving thing you can do is leave them alone. Okay? Venus in Scorpio. Now, a lot of things happen. Let's go with October 6th. Venus is retrograding in Scorpio in your 9th house. So for you, this could mean around the 5th, 6th, that maybe an old love could come back to you or come to mind for you. And this could have been a foreign person, a person from a different culture, a person with very strong beliefs, somebody that you would have said is a good person, a decent person. They were optimistic and kind, pleasant, fun, but in a wholesome kind of way. A little bit wild at times, but generally all around a good, decent person. And there was a reason why you split up. There was a reason why they're an ex. So don't forget that if they come to mind again, okay? Or if they call you, trying to hook up with you or trying to meet with you. There's a reason. Now, the reason could have been that there was physical distance between the two of you. Maybe either you or they went off to travel or went off to study something, and maybe that was why the relationship ended. Maybe you grew apart in terms of your ideas. One of you wanted to expand your life, expand your horizons, expand your way of thinking, and the other person wanted to stay stuck in something very old and traditional and wouldn't see the other side of the fence. So maybe there was that energy that separated you in the first place. So do try to remember that there was a reason why you split up, okay? Because when Venus retrogrades, she might find you might find that past loves become very attractive all over again. And that's why I'm saying to everybody this month, remember there is a reason why they're exes. And don't get lost in the romance of it, and don't get lost in but they were a very high and spiritual person, or they were ready to travel, they were a great companion when we used to go on vacation, they were wonderful. Yeah, but they weren't wonderful with other things. That's why you're not together anymore. So do remember that. Other things also, in terms of money, maybe for some of you, when it comes to education, some of you could see that pay off. Or maybe you're getting a refund. Maybe you wanted to do something, wanted to study something, chose the class, signed up for something, and now you're just not that interested in it anymore. And you might see money return from that. It's not a great time, Pisces, to throw a bunch of money at planning a vacation. Now you can, I'm not saying don't do that, but if you must do it, then do try to get the right price, the right bargain, the right travel insurance. Do try to get it all in the best way that you can, because there's an element here of throwing bunches of money, maybe at a vacation, to just go away from it all, leave it all behind and travel the world. And then later you cry because it costs so much, you know. And also, for some of you, there could be a love calling you from another part of the world. Maybe you're very attractive to somebody from another culture. And I would show caution here. I'm not saying that they're not wonderful people, but there is an element here of maybe things not being all that they seem to be. So by all means, enjoy what you're going to receive maybe from a foreign person, but things are not always what they seem to be. So that's for the singles. Those in a relationship, again, if you and your partner are planning to maybe do some traveling, just have a real look at whether you can afford this right now, because maybe your partner can't afford to be throwing money at something right now, even though you seem to be doing much better financially. Maybe when the time comes to actually take the vacation, they'll be looking to you to, you know, pay for all the meals. So show caution. Now, October 9th, new moon in Libra in the 8th house. So 8th house, it's a lot to do with power, asserting your power. Maybe around the 9th of October, you'll be showing your power again, because you got a taste of it there towards the end of September about bearing your claws a little bit, and you like it and you want to run with that a bit more, but you have a healthy sense of balance with this. You do identify that if you're going to show power, you can use it fairly. You're using your powers for good. Yeah, that's really what it is. You're using your strength and powers for good around the 9th of October, and remember that because you don't want to lord it over anybody or become one of those domineering people, because it's not you, Pisces. Don't do it. It's just, it doesn't suit you. It's not you. Power struggles, I think that you might find a good way out of it by keeping a balanced mind and a balanced attitude towards whatever it is that's trying to dominate you or has a bit of a hold over you in some way. Good communication can stop it from becoming a bit of a power game. And not just good communication, but a healthy sense of balance, a healthy sense of fairness can stop things getting out of control there. But I do see around the new moon, there is this big strength coming for you again, where you're really marking your territory. And you're saying, I'm no longer going to be the fool for these people, this situation, this job, this partner, whatever. I'm not going to be a fool anymore. There's a clear line and there's boundaries, and they shall never be crossed. So you're showing your power in that way, Pisces. And also with long-range money, you're showing your power, that you are putting a plan together, and a successful plan to get your long-range money in order. Yeah, maybe even to start up a little sideline, a side business that brings you in a bit of cash. Maybe something that you can do on the internet something that involves a bit of technology, maybe very future thinking stuff, where you're a bit of a groundbreaker and you see that you can make some money from this, and long range, long-term money on the side maybe, and you're ready to go for that. So that's a gorgeous energy, Pisces. October 10th, Mercury goes into Scorpio in the 9th house. October 23rd, Sun moves into Scorpio in the 9th house. So we have a lot of energy in the 9th house, and that is to do with your spirituality. It's to do with seeing things from a higher perspective. So there'll be an element here too, Pisces, of your great strength here will come when you see other people and their crises, their situations, their dramas, and even your own. And there'll be a moment where you're kind of elevated up a little bit, where you zoom out and you're able to see everything from a much higher perspective. And in that way, you can take a more objective stance, where it's not all so personal and it's not all such a catastrophe or a drama. And you're able to maneuver things an awful lot better from this higher perspective. There's also an element of taking the higher moral ground, the higher ground on something. And this gives you a great sense of flow and balance by doing this. And it's almost like removing yourself, taking a scissors, cutting yourself out from this world a little bit, removing yourself and watching your life pass in front of you in a kind of sea, like the sea, the waves just flowing in and flowing out, and you are standing on the shore kind of vibe. And on that shore, as the waves of other people's drama and situations go in and out, you'll just let the sun shine on you, and your mind will be turned to very spiritual things, very high-minded things, education. You want to step away. It seems to step away from dramas and to preserve yourself in the long run, to protect yourself in the long run. You need to broaden your mind. So you need to learn. You need to study the art of self-protection. Now that could come in the form, particularly towards the end of the month with the full moon in Taurus. The art of self-protection physically is the art of maybe a martial art. Some of you could be involved in taking up boxing classes, boxercise, or just some self-defense class, because it's all about you now preserving and protecting this higher sense of spirituality. I think Gemini got something very similar. They were asked to do yoga or Tai Chi or something where they engage the body and the spirit. And there will be something very beneficial for you too, Pisces, if you engage the body and the spirit, or the body and your larger thoughts. Now let me see, where am I going with that? I was brought to the word science. Physical science? What's the word I'm looking for? Science of the body. It totally escapes me now. Maybe you can remind me what it is in the comments. When you exercise, but it's very much based on how the body is moving with full flow. Yeah, totally escapes me. I know there's a scientific word for that. Anyway, a lot of you will be very interested in that and understanding how flow moves through your body and really appreciating that. Prayer, body and prayer. Body and prayer. Maybe you know how that ties in, Pisces. Maybe you're onto something new and innovative that I don't understand, or I don't know. So maybe you can tell me what that's all about. October 31st, Mercury goes into Sagittarius in your 10th house, and then also Venus is retrograding in Libra. Now, around here, it seems that some of the great ideas that you're communicating are going to bring some great success in your career. Something that is very authentic and spiritual. I'm going back again with this. There's something to do with your body, your spirit. And once maybe you show that off in some way into the public sphere, it might help your career in some way. Might help your career spirit, communicating something from the spirit. But it's a very good thing for you to be getting involved in. Now, there is some nice energy happening for you around the 12th of October, Pisces. Nice energy, again, this higher consciousness that you seem to be entering into, a very spiritual, detached somewhat phase where you feel like you're learning, your mind is expanding and you're learning a lot, studying something, really getting into studying something. It seems to be really good luck and beneficial for your future. It kicks off something for you, very much so. Maybe in work, something lucky for you in work. But certainly lucky for you in terms of where you're going in the future. Spirit again, something spiritual that you're doing and communicating brings you luck. There's also the element here of the 19th, Mercury and Neptune, they're trining. So there's a lovely energy around the 19th for you, where things just seem to make more sense again with the spirit and whatever it is, some deep subject that you're learning, Pisces. And as always, you're a bloody mystery because I'm trying to tune into what it is, Pisces. And it seems very deep, profound, spiritual. But it requires a lot of depth, it requires a lot of studying, and it requires a lot of belief. That in order for it to happen, you must really believe in it. I don't know, is it law of attraction, something like that? Or something that Oh, just tell me what it is, Pisces. I'm trying, but as I said, you are a mystery and you often do things that are quite mysterious that the rest of us have to just catch up with you. Because you don't leave breadcrumbs, you don't leave clues for the rest of us to follow. You suddenly arrive, very much like this month, you suddenly arrive with something very genius, very wonderful to do with your spirituality, to do with sharing some very deep wisdom that you have, maybe connected to do with the flow through the spirit and the body. And by the time you release that, which you will this month, people are just going to adore it. And they're going to see it as very futuristic, groundbreaking. That you're somewhere, that you're out there somewhere and people like it. Yeah. And that seems to be the theme of the month. It really does. You're communicating very unusual spiritual ideas and you're not sure whether it can make you money, but it seems that it can. Yeah, it seems that it can. And not only that, but it seems that it can bring you long-term into the future with luck. Pisces, ever the mystery, and that's why I love you. I really do. I love that mysteriousness about you. And certainly this month you are mysterious because people will want to know how and why you're doing this. How are you moving so much into your future dreams and goals? How are you doing it? And yet at the same time, there's crisis situations all around you, but you're elevating yourself up above them. And they all want to know your secret. How are you doing it? How are you not getting so involved in the shit of this life? And you're just saying, I'm Pisces. That's what I do. I swim in tides that nobody else can. I move on energy vibes that nobody can even see. And that's why I'm mysterious. If you see me moving in and moving out, I'm just moving forward. It's just the places that I go you don't know. Yeah, I get it. And it feels like that this month, Pisces. You're enjoying that energy of moving in and out of places that other people can't go to. And moving ahead, using it as a tool to get ahead for your career and future. So it's great. Now, Pisces, I know I talk a lot, I know I do, but this is ridiculous. We're waiting on 4 cards. One more shuffle, Pisces, and then I will choose the remaining 4 cards for you. Here we go. Okay, the Queen of Money, the Queen of Healing also. Yeah. Body healing, yeah. The Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, money. The Ace of Cups. Money and healing. Are you studying something, Pisces, that brings healing to a lot of people. Mystery, mystery, mystery. I'm sure you won't tell me anyway, because that's how you do it. You keep it hidden, and then the big reveal comes out, and here we have the card of spirituality. Yeah, okay, Pisces. You beat me, I give up. Now, Pisces, let's go to this. We're going to, ta-da, look at the overview now. So, we begin with the 2 sevens, the energy of you pulling back a little bit. 2 Venus cards, and Venus is retrograding, so she is pulling her energy back a bit. She's pulling her energy back from fighting, from challenging. It's not something she wants to do now. She's recognized that some people are energy drainers should I say, because the words that they use are a little bit too cutting and a little bit too clever. It's words, and when you try to open up, maybe with your partner or with somebody very close to you, maybe an air sign, that's Libra, Gemini and Aquarius, maybe with one of those characters, when you open up and you try to be soulful and gentle with them, that they're all words, and you're saying, can we not have this battle of words? Can we have something a bit more soulful? And you're finding that it's not there. Maybe because they're going through a bit of a crisis and they're panicking. We're not going to give the air signs a hard time. This is an air season, Libra season. But when they panic, sometimes air signs can get very verbal and can go on the verbal attack. And you're just sitting there going, I don't need this. I don't need it. Absolutely not. I need something more soulful. I need something that has more emotion, genuine emotion in it, rather than just anger and angry words. So you're pulling your energy back from some situation, some person, because they're not playing fair and they're not playing a game that you like. Maybe there's a lot of manipulation there. Maybe there's a lot of stuckness. Stuckness, is that a word? That they're stuck, they're locked in crisis thinking, they're locked in negative thinking, and you're just picking up all your swords and going, there's no talking to you while you're like this. While you're in this mood, there's just no talking to you. So I'm not going to fight anymore, I'm just going to pull my energy back. And the same here when it comes to your spirit and to your money. Maybe there was a clash for those in a relationship between you and somebody else about money. Maybe somebody is demanding money from you, or some resource from you, or they're demanding a lot of your energy, they're demanding a lot of things from you. Maybe they want to borrow a lot of stuff from you. You know, can I borrow this? Can I borrow your car? Can you help me pick up my kids from school? Can you have... And you're like, it's constant wanting something from me. Hello, I'm pulling my energy back from people who want my resources, and from people who, you know, they want me to help them, but yet when I help them, they just give me you don't understand energy back. And I think this is the very thing that really catapults you, Pisces, into taking this higher moral ground situation, where no matter how hard you try, it seems, to help another, that they're just not listening, your help is not being heard, the things that you give are not being appreciated. So there's an element of, do it yourself. Come back to me when you have it fixed, because I'm just going to laugh this off. You're going through a bit of a bad, weird moment, and you're not letting me help you, so I'm just going to go off into my own spiritual zone. It's like a little intermission for you, which is kind of welcome. This is the weird thing I'm picking up too, Pisces, that when you pull back your energy, you feel kind of, oh, well, I'm enjoying this. This is a little respite, a little quiet time where I don't have to deal with other people's problems, that I can just trip out in my own little world and enjoy that instead, and actually learn a lot while I'm there. Learn a lot about understanding the art of knowing the difference between somebody else's problem and my problem, knowing the difference between when somebody else should fix their own shit and when it's none of my business. You fix that, none of my business. I'm off dreaming, praying and getting all soulful and spiritual over here. Yeah. Now, beside that, we do have the energy here of harsh words, quite a Saturnian card here, where there was a little bit of heartbreak. And maybe that is again why you're pulling back your energy and resources from somebody, because you've been hurt and you feel a bit battle weary. But being a 9 here, again, the energy this month is all about 9 energy, taking the higher moral ground and realizing that you don't have to be involved in the messes that people create for themselves. They've created it themselves. And you went in, tried to fix the mess, and then you ended up bashed and bruised. And you were told, no, go away, you stand over there. So there's an element of feeling a little bit alienated and pushed away. Maybe feeling a little bit hurt and isolated. But yet again, Pisces, only you can do this. You've, in this isolation, in this being pushed away into a corner, in being told, I'm not speaking to you ever again, you just say, well, this is great, this is fine, this gives me a quiet time. But there is the quiet time needed so that you do recover and that you do realize that your energy comes out of heartbreaking situations now. This is this guy realizing that he doesn't have to put so much energy and effort into a heartbreaking situation. He's done. He's finished. It doesn't mean the end of a relationship. What it certainly means is the end of you putting a certain kind of energy into a relationship. An energy that drains you, an energy that you're expending that ultimately isn't welcome for them, that they don't appreciate. And you're saying, enough of that shit. Enough of that. I don't need that. I could be using my energy for much greater things. I could be using my energy to really focus on my future and my career and my spirituality and other things like that. Now here we have the wise king. This is Libra season, King Solomon. King Solomon had a very difficult task. He was given almost an impossible task. And his decision was ultimately the right one. And it was the wisest one. And it was a difficult decision to make, but ultimately a wise one. And I think that's what's happening for you here for the month of October, Pisces. There are difficult decisions to be made, and somebody might suffer under the wisest decision. Because this isn't the energy anymore of you caving into somebody else's demands, you caving into somebody else's will. This is this is about making wise decisions. Yes, somebody might not like them. It might not benefit somebody, but a wise decision is a wise decision. And you can't argue with that. And it kind of removes you from being judged. It removes you from people fighting with you, because they can't argue with a fair decision, even if they lose out in the end. Again, the energy of air sign, it could be because we're in Libra season, but air is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So maybe some energy there because we have it beside a love card. And this could be you pulling your love energy also. So you're pulling a lot of energy away, maybe from an air sign, as I said, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. And you're looking to bring that love elsewhere. And I think the first place that you bring that, Pisces, is to you, because the Knight of Cups seems to be on a mission. And where's his first port of call? To you standing up for your own self, for you being sure. Now this guy is quite cocksure. This guy, he's not selfish, because that suggests that it's something negative. Instead, he's taking care of number one. And that's what I think is happening here. You're moving after a lot of reflection, after a lot of time of thinking, and a lot of heart searching and soul searching. You're removing your heart, time, energy, everything from somebody who doesn't welcome all the magic that you bring. And you're putting it now into yourself, into being more confident within yourself, and into getting your projects together, into putting a fire under your own feet, and into having confidence. This is what It's almost like a crisis situation, Pisces, is actually pushing you. A crisis situation that involves other people is pushing you to say, enough. I am not going to be that fool anymore. I'm going to stand up for myself more. And I'm going to stand my ground, hold my ground. And I've got a stick in my hand. And if they come for me, they'll get the stick across the head. Because this is a weapon. It's a magic one, but it's also a weapon. You wouldn't approach this guy. He does look a little bit insane now, to be fair, the way he's dressed, but he's got a big stick in his hand. And if you don't know him, why would you walk towards him? He's dangerous. He's dangerous because he's able to defend himself. And there's an energy of that here too for you, Pisces. I think a lot of people, their opinion of you will change radically this month because they'll see you holding the stick and being more confident, and they won't be prepared for that. And being more confident, I get the feeling again that there is somebody dragging you down emotionally, trying to make you believe that the world is shit. It's like they're constantly feeding you stuff like, oh, we'll never be rich, oh, the world, oh, the economy, oh, the this, oh, the that, and you're there almost believing it to be true, almost getting to a point where you're believing that things are a little bit pointless and hopeless. And that there's, even though you're handed good things, and you're being handed great things this month, Pisces, but it's almost like you have to get out of this slump, which you've fallen into the trap of believing that nothing good can happen in this world, because this world is just shit. And he's not even prepared to look up and see that that's not true, that the universe has something good for you to taste. This is all salty wine, all sour wine, all it's all gone off, it's turned to vinegar. But yet the universe says, no, here's a fresh cup. This is one I prepared earlier, it's fresh from the celestial vineyard. And if only he looked up, Pisces, like you, take your mind out of negative thoughts, look up, and there is fresh wine for you to drink from. No matter what the people around you, if they're very negative right now, ignore that and take this lovely higher moral ground that you're taking, because the Queen is there to hand you the coin. The Queen is you, your energy, being very healing. But I think you're healing two things. You're healing your soul energy, you're healing your spirit, and you're being more discerning about who you're giving your healing to. Also, more balanced about that. You're becoming the Queen who absolutely understands how to help somebody when they need help, but only if they deserve it. I mean, this is a Queen of coin. She's all about, well, do you deserve it or don't you? You don't get this coin if you don't deserve it. This is a reward. And you'll be like that. You'll be finally able to say, you know, Pisces, my energy, you don't just get this for free just because I'm gentle and I help out and I like things to go with the flow. It doesn't mean I'm giving shit away. It doesn't mean I give my soul away. You've got to remember that this is valuable, what I have. And I'm going to remind you that I'm valuable. And I don't give this away to anybody. So shape up or get nothing. Because if you don't behave yourself, you'll get none of my wonderful gift that I have. So that's energy. You're really feeling this towards the end of the month. And again, more coins. Coins, the ones that you've mastered, and new coins coming. Money, Pisces, new money towards the end of the month. Definitely to do with your work, maybe around the end of the month, around October 31st, which is Halloween. There could be new money coming to you, lucky money, because of something that you're doing, something that you've put a lot of energy and effort into. It's paying off. And again, beside that, the gods are gifting you again. Beside the Hierophant, the house of the gods, the very representative of the ninth house here. Cleansing, healing, finally getting rid of some bad habits to do with money. Learning a karmic lesson also when it comes to money and how that comes into your future, bringing money into your future finally once and for all, and learning, definitely learning, Pisces, that the thing that you have in your spirit and soul is incredibly valuable. And just because you're good enough to give that generously doesn't mean it's worth nothing. And people need to be reminded of that. And again, you're clearing away a lot of old karmic toxic stuff. And maybe some of those beliefs around money you're clearing away. Definitely beliefs. Your beliefs are changing. By the end of the month, maybe by the full moon in Taurus, you're able to communicate something far more beautiful, something different, something spiritual. And this leads you into something powerful. Pisces, you always surprise me. The hand of God, really, and then the one who communicates with the gods. You're communicating with the gods at the end of the month? I know it's Halloween. Maybe you're really getting involved in some mystical arts at the end of the month. You're really tuning in, doing psychic work, harnessing psychic energy, really tuning into something that is slightly different, and the gods are just opening up to you. I always love reading for you, Pisces. I do, because your energy is always, what I love, your energy is so soft and gentle. And yet, soft and gentle means that it flows wonderfully. So you always, when you get into Pisces energy, you always feel that things are moving gently. But they're not moving gently, they're moving with force, but delicately, like a fine master craftsman. You know, it's energy that moves powerfully, slowly, and surprisingly, always surprisingly. This card is definitely the card of beliefs. It's also the card of making something solid now in your life. And the full moon is in Taurus, a Taurus card. You're communicating something that's going to make money. And it's to do with your beliefs. And like I said, it could be a side interest, but it's definitely something spiritual. Pisces, I'm going to leave it right there. It's a very lucky month for you, particularly with your work and particularly with this new change in perspective, taking the higher moral ground seems to bring you such huge luck and seems to open up your future. I did say we have the influence of Taurus, that's the Taurus full moon. We have Gemini, Libra and Aquarius. You pulling your energy back slightly from them and maybe moving more towards a fire sign. Sorry Pisces, I got cut out there. I've been talking too long maybe. So I'm going to leave it at that. If this is the first time seeing my videos, then please subscribe. Join me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat. And do come back next month to see how this unfolds, Pisces. And I really am. If it's something you're willing to share with everybody, I would love to know what this spiritual work is that you're doing, and especially towards the end of the month, and how you're cracking something financially once and for all, breaking something karmically so that your money grows into the future. I wish you every success with that, Pisces. And I'm going to leave it at that. For those celebrating Halloween, I want to say happy Halloween. For those of you who celebrate the Celtic festival of Samhain, I'll say Ia Hauna Chonaguiv. Happy Samhain festival to you. And as always, I will leave you with all my love, Pisces, and a big kiss. Mwah. Love you, Pisces. See you next month. Bye.